don't really know a house until someone dies in it. And once they do, the house stops pretending. We buried my grandmother last week, peacefully in her sleep, they said. But when we entered her house the next morning, it didn't feel like grief in the air. It felt like the house had been holding its breath, waiting. It was one of those old Victorian homes, cracked porch steps, drooping ceilings, and wallpaper that peeled like sunburnt skin. I grew up avoiding it, especially the basement. Even as a kid, that place gave me chills. Too cold, too quiet, too alive. After the funeral, we split duties. My parents took the upstairs. I got the basement. Lucky me. I opened the heavy door, flicked the switch, the bulb flickered, then buzzed dimly to life. Each stair creaked like it didn't want me there. The air was heavier than I remembered. Dust, moisture, something else. A presence. I started checking boxes. Old books, canned goods, Christmas junk. Then, in the far corner, hidden under a moldy canvas, was a wooden trunk. It was large, heavy, iron latches covered in rust. I opened it expecting old photos or broken decorations. Instead, there was just one item inside, a tape recorder. Old, clunky, and completely out of place. No dust, no cobwebs, no wear. It looked brand new. I picked it up. It was warm. That didn't make sense. The basement was freezing. I stared at it. There was a tape inside. No label, just one word carved into the side. Listen. I shouldn't have pressed play, but I did, and I heard me screaming, begging, "Help me! Please! Let me out!" It was my voice, undeniably mine. I dropped the recorder. The sound stopped. I stood frozen, staring at it, trying to make sense of what just happened. I had never seen that tape before, never recorded anything, and I had never screamed like that in my life. I rewound it, pressed play again. Same scream, but this time, there was something underneath it. Another voice. Low, inhuman. Whispering in a language I didn't know, but somehow understood. Something primal, like instinct, warning me. Run. One. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the scream. My scream. Echoing. Distorted. Buried beneath whispers I couldn't unhear. I thought it would go away. Maybe it was stress, grief, some kind of psychological break. But the next morning, I found the recorder on my nightstand. Pause. Soft, cold, tone. I didn't bring it up. I had left it in the basement. No one else had touched it. No one else knew. I stared at it for a long time. It was just sitting there, silent, innocent, like it hadn't just replayed my own voice in agony. I opened the drawer, shoved it in, closed it hard, tried to forget. Pause. Slow, building dread, but I couldn't. Later that day, I heard a faint sound, muffled, from the drawer. I opened it. The recorder was playing, by itself. Panicked tone. I hadn't touched it. It had no batteries, yet there it was. The tape rolling, my voice screaming. Only this time, the voice changed. It slowed, deepened, until it didn't even sound human. It whispered something different. Low, guttural imitation. He's close. I hit stop. Nothing happened. I yanked the batteries. Oh, wait. There were no batteries inside, but it kept playing. The whispers grew louder. The voice beneath my scream grew more clear, like it was talking to me now. I threw it across the room. It hit the wall and fell silent. I should have smashed it, burned it, buried it, but I didn't. Pause. Regretful tone. That night I had a dream. I was back in the basement, alone, surrounded by darkness, but I wasn't myself. I was trapped inside the tape, screaming, clawing at invisible walls, and something was outside, watching. It whispered again. You're already here. I woke up gasping, shaken tone, and when I looked, the recorder was in my hand. Investigative tone. I started searching through old documents, family records, deeds, newspaper clippings. That's when I found him. Joseph Allen Carter, original owner of the house, architect, lived alone, disappeared in 1978. Neighbors said they heard screaming in the house, but when police searched it, there was nothing. No sign of struggle, no blood, just a single note burned into the basement floor. Let me out. And in the evidence photo, that same tape recorder, sitting next to the note, unlabeled, cassette jammed, just like I found. The report said the tape was never deciphered, too degraded. But somehow it's clear now, too clear. Low voice, disturbed tone. That thing in the tape. It wasn't playing me, it was recording me screaming from inside. And every time I listened, I got closer to it. I started seeing things, shadows in the mirror, reflections that moved differently than me. And then, one night, I saw him, tall, thin, standing just outside the house watching me. No eyes, just a face wrapped in something black. And I swear, he had the recorder in his hand. I stopped telling myself it was just a tape. It wasn't. This thing, it wasn't playing my voice, it was pulling it from somewhere. Recording pain I hadn't felt yet, or maybe already had. The lines were blurring, dreams felt more real, reality kept slipping, and that house, it wasn't just holding memories anymore, it was feeding off them. One morning I went down to the basement again, I couldn't help it. Something kept calling me. The trunk was still there, empty now, but when I moved it aside, the concrete beneath had cracked. Hairline fractures, almost like veins spreading outward, and between them, claw marks. Deep gouges in the floor, as if someone had tried to dig their way up. I found one of my own fingernails there, but I hadn't been down long enough to... No, that's not possible. I took photos. Tried to show my mom. She just looked confused. "There's nothing there," she said. I showed her the tape. She heard nothing but static. I screamed. "Listen, that's me! I'm screaming!" She started crying. Thought I was losing my mind. Maybe she was right. I decided to do more digging, literal digging. That night I took a crowbar to the cracked floor, broke through a chunk of the concrete. Underneath, wooden boards. Rotten, damp, but unmistakably, a hatch. I opened it, a second basement. No one had ever told me this house had two. I climbed down with a flashlight. The air was thick, wet, breathing. The space was small. Walls damp with black moss, and in the center, another recorder. Same model, same warm plastic, but this one already playing. Please let me out. Shocked pause. Realization hits. It wasn't just me this time. I recognized the voice. It was my grandmother, begging, pleading. I didn't know what it would do. I didn't know it would keep them. I dropped the flashlight. The beam rolled across the room, and in the far corner, a figure facing the wall, tall, motionless, but its head slowly turned. I ran. I didn't stop until I was upstairs. I locked the basement door, sat there all night listening, noises under the floor, taps like fingernails. And then the tape started playing in my room again, but this time it was live. It was narrating my thoughts. Don't go back down. Don't open the door. He's listening. He's already behind you. I turned around. Nothing. Just shadows. But I felt it. Something breathing near my neck. I looked in the mirror, and for just 1 second, it wasn't my reflection. The recorder wouldn't stop. Even when I left the room, even when I took it outside, even when I buried it, it still played. And worse, now I could hear it even when it wasn't playing. The screens weren't just mine anymore. They were my grandmother's. And someone else, a man. I recognized the name now. Joseph Carter. Pause. Dark realization tone. He didn't disappear. He was taken, trapped by the house, by the basement, by it. Soft tone, almost whisper. The thing inside the recorder, it doesn't just haunt this place. It lives inside sound, inside memory. Every person who listens, who really hears, leaves something of themselves behind. A sliver, a scream, a soul. Calm, slow narration. I found more tapes in the hidden basement, labeled only by years. 1961, 1978, 1989, 2003. All unlabeled, all recorded on the same kind of machine, all filled with screams. Different voices, different languages, but always the same ending. You'll be me. I confronted my mom. I told her everything. She broke down crying. Said Grandma used to talk about the voice. Said she warned her never to go into the basement. Grandma knew. She had kept the secret. She had buried the truth with Carter and with herself. But it wasn't enough. The thing down there, it needs more. It grows stronger every time someone listens, every time someone presses play. I should have left, should have burned the tapes, destroyed the recorder. But I didn't. Something in me wanted to understand it, to finish it. So I went back down one last time to the second basement. I took a sledgehammer, a flashlight, and the original tape. I was going to end it. I smashed the recorder, smashed the hatch, broke everything that could hold a voice. The walls bled, the air howled, and I heard every scream I had ever listened to play all at once, a deafening chorus of trapped souls, and underneath it all, my own voice screaming, "Don't listen! Don't press play! Don't!" And silence. The basement was quiet, still, dead. I came upstairs, packed my bags, left the house that night. I never told my parents what I did, but I slept for the first time in weeks. No voices, no dreams, no shadow outside the window. Until this morning, when I found a package at my front door. No return address, just a box. Inside was a tape recorder, warm to the touch, already playing. And this time, the voice on it wasn't just mine. It was yours, too. You're already listening. You pressed play. You'll be me. Like the story? Then you already heard the ending. Because if you've listened this far, you've already started the recording. See you soon.